So, we are running a bridge school for school dropouts. So most of the children at our center are from migrant labor communities in Sarjapur road area. So we decided to go to the sites like where the construction workers are staying and see why these children are not going to school. And we came across so many problems they are facing, and we saw that there are three kinds of issues which is very much in their lives. One is like that elder children have to stay back at home to take care of the younger siblings. That is one of the main reasons. Mostly the female like girls are doing that. And the second reason is that they had a very bad experience in the previous school stint. Like they were beaten up, or they were being, because of the caste, the teacher was not talking to them, all those kind of issues. So they don't want to go to school. It's not a happy experience at all. And the third issue was the parents are afraid that their children may get abducted in the city when they go to school. And it's a real issue. Children are being abducted in Bangalore city. So, and police doesn't care about it, because the children are from a different set of families, different set of class. So that is being happening. So parents are like, no need to go to school, play at the where they are staying, that's it. So we had to do something to address these three issues. So we talked to the parents and the construction companies that arrange someone from the company to drop the children to the school and bring them back to the house every day evening. So that was set, so the parents were fine, like nobody is going to kidnap their children. So children started coming into school, and we talked to the children that nobody is going to beat them at the school. So they were not really like, like how is it possible, they were asking. And even when we are asking them like, when you do something wrong, what we can do? They are like, beat us. There is, like there is no other way to deal with that. So he said, there are different ways, we'll see that, you just come to school. And the first issue was like, take care of the younger sibling. So we set up another room for the younger ones. And this is the first day of our school. Like you see some children are coming with their younger siblings. They are like 1.5, 2 years old. So there is one room for them. We have this cradle and all for them to sleep. And some children even sit with the older ones in the classroom, like while the class is happening. So we started the center, children started coming into the center. And then there is the real issue, we have to teach them. So we met people who are already doing this kind of work. There is Azim Premji Foundation is already running 2 migrant labor schools. We talk to them about their curriculum, how are they doing. So they already have like lesson plans which they have been developed in the last 10 years. So we just started our work like using that as a base. Then the problem was that most of them are first generation learners, all the children. So they had no like real exposure to text before. Most of them don't know what is the purpose of this thing, like these letters, this text. They never saw it, someone is using it. So we had to think like how we can make it as meaningful as possible for these children. So we decided it should be as simple as possible for them. It should not be like so much difficult in terms of understanding or anything. It should not be ritualistic. It should be very meaningful. So we decided to use simple rhymes in Kannada. So one rhyme is like, how many of you know Kannada? Okay. So it's a simple thing like, Baga manage banditu, badane saru tinditu, bagilu biga akitu, bugiri aata aaditu. So it means that Baga is a kind of bird. It came home, it had some brinjal curry, it locked the house and played the top outside the house. That's the whole poem. So we start our Kannada class just singing this kind of rhyme in the beginning. Just sing with it, dance with for 2-3 days. Then once they are done with singing with it, we'll ask them to draw those, whatever they have seen in that. So whatever they have grasped, they will put into a sketch or something. And they love it. They want to just do drawing whole day if it is possible. So we're just doing that. Once they're done with that, he'll come up with a text of that 4-line poem. And all the nouns in that poem will be replaced with the picture. Like, so there is house in that poem. So house, the word house, on top of that house there will be a picture of house. On top of that, the baka, which is a bird, the picture of that bird will be there. So children started identifying that whole word as equivalent to those nouns. Like they don't see it as like different letters or anything, just see it as a single thing, which is equivalent to that house. So that thing is house, they know. So then they started reading it. They sing it, but at the same time they will point, this is what you are reading. Then once they are done with that, we just remove those pictures and words from the poem and they just match it like as an exercise. And if they are ready, they will start writing. If they feel like there is no, I mean, we are not forcing anything to, them to write anything or anything. If they feel like, they'll just write it. And they just like, they will play with it like with their peers that this means baga, this means ballet. Like they'll just play with it. Once that is done, if the child is ready and child feels fine with that, we just split these words into letters. And that is the point where letters are being introduced as a, like it's something which you use to make words. And what usually happens in school is that they are introduced letters first, which has no meaning in their lives at all. So in schools, they say raga, sada, there's a first set of letters they will learn. They are like, what does it mean? It doesn't have any meaning to them. These children doesn't even know there are words. A sentence they say for them is a single piece of information. They don't see like words in it. So for us, first thing was to introduce the idea of words in a sentence, then to then go to letter thing. So that's what I meant by balanced approach. Like we go from a whole word approach and also bring in the parts thing towards the end of it and just play it. So that's how it is happening, and most of the children are fine with it. They're finding it useful, like meaningful and all. But there are some other children who are like, what is the use of it? I don't want to write. I don't want to use this poem. I don't want to write anything about it. So they are not sitting in the class. They'll just, when we start the class, they'll sing in the first half, then they just run away from the class. They'll go to the playground and play there. We cannot beat them. We cannot scold them. So we just like, so I started shouting at them, like, come back. And my colleagues were telling me like, you are shouting, you are using your temper. Take care of it. So we were thinking, what can be done about it? We need some other program. Then we realized we need a bridging to the bridge program. So it's a bridge of bridge, and we call it Bob. So I didn't know what to do. Like I just gather all these children and sit with them and ask them what they want to do. So most of them will say they want to draw. They know they are not allowed to go to play. So they say they want to draw something. So I'll get them sketch pens or not sketch pens, like pencils and color pencils. And they start sketching or anything. And the other issue with them is they don't know the idea of sitting inside a classroom, listen to an adult and follow that rules. And I'm not even forcing them to do anything. So there's like, what is the need? Like there is no fear of anything. So we just started sketching it. For a week we just sketching whatever they feel like. They were sketching whatever they feel like. And after once they are done with the sketching, we'll sit in a circle and share what they have done. So like one of the child like drew this thing. And there was amazing things like, since they were not going to school, they used to tell like water doesn't have color. Like usually children say water has color, water is blue in color. Most of the children say water doesn't have any color in our center. So like there are benefits of not going to school also. So that we saw a lot. After a week, I started telling them like, sketch a day of yours, the activities you do, or like the things you like. So most of them like food items. So I asked them to draw whatever food items you like. They just draw it, or the animals or the fruits, whatever they like. And again they will discuss about what it is. And one of the teachers will write, so if this is a drawing, this is a mara, they will just write. The teacher will write it. Mara, Uduga, Galipata, Pakshi, like that they'll just write. So after 2-3 days, what happened, 2 or 3 children started labeling by themselves. Like using the whatever letters they know. Like one child, his name is Ashoka, so he knows how to write Ashoka in Kannada and English. And he started mixing whatever letters he knows and making labels for anything. So then like teacher started writing, so his label will be there, and under that the teacher will also write the actual Kannada label for it. And the child was not really ready to accept it in the beginning. Then after a point, like he asked how to write like that. It actually happened. Then like I had a conversation with them, like, you see there is a point learning those things. You can write what you want to write. Like, so it became like learning language is a meaningful thing for them. Like it has a need. It's a tool which you can use in your life. That kind of thing came in, and they went back to the class. So that was like an aha moment after 2.5 weeks. At least 80% of them. So we had some 8 children. 6 of them were ready to go to the class, and other 2 are still playing. But we'll figure out some way with that. And they also learned like vocabulary. They also built the confidence that they can be right. There is no problem of being wrong. So like so in that 3 weeks, they're just sharing whatever they had in their head. There was nothing, somebody has told them and they are reproducing it. So the learning has becoming like expressing themselves more than listening to someone and reproducing it. So that happened during that period, and it was fine. And yeah, I think I'm done with things. So what I learned all this thing is that like you have to observe the child as much as possible. Like you may be running a class of 30 children or 10 children or 5 children, but the key is to observe each child and understand what is his way of learning. So in our school there are children who likes to learn letters first. So for them we'll give activities where they have to blend letters, but there are children who has no interest in learning letters. They just want to get into whole words. So we'll just give them activities where they can use ideas of whole word. And the idea of individual attention, like whenever you can have a conversation with the children in your class and see what is going on. Like if he's studying well, if he's not studying well, like if everything is fine at home, so there may be a fight at home between parents, and the kid may not be able to sit in the class at all. So if you are not getting it, there is no point giving them papers and ask them to sketch. You are having fun, why don't you study? So like getting into their emotional things and talk about their parents, talk about their families is very important. And also like learn from children, like you learn something every day, I think. So this child in my class, she comes school with her plan every day. She doesn't listen to any of the teachers, and she just picks any books or any material and do her own works. And we don't know how we learned. She learned how to read and write, like in 3-4 months. So that's still a mystery. We don't know what is going on. So, so we're trying to understand what's the thing. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.